So let's go ahead and look closer on the components and properties inside the components. So we'll look right here. We have our basic default root, age of the plant, season, and health of the plant. All of these options we can connect to our plant and use it when we're creating something new. So first, let's look in a root. Right here, you notice we'll have general parameters with position, rotation angle, and scale. We cannot actually see the root, but it's where from we're starting plant our segment or maybe some other composition. So this is our base where we start modeling from. So next we have a characteristic. Well, where you look on some seed number, and if you work with Vue before, you notice in some terrain fractal we have a different random number that is using to create this fractal growing. The seed, it will use it in the future when we're using randomize functions. It's based from this. With this different seed, we can create different looking of the plants. Sometimes if you create it and you don't like how maybe distortion going, you can always go back to the seed and modify it. As well, when you save and export plant as a Vue plant, this seed will be randomly generated for different plants or different plants in one species. Okay, as well, right here you notice we have a plant age and also plant health. This will help you to modify between colors or how fast it's growing or how many branches it's going to have. We also have the default value for the gravity. Currently it's set to 1. You can modify if you want to create a little bit lighter or heavier, or maybe you do some sci-fi plants in different areas. We also have a different type of the seasons. Currently they're not connected, so you can notice they disable. Okay, next we'll have it also global basis, and we'll look on some of this. This is modifiers that will help to control plant. You can add multiple direction, planar, attractor, extrapassword, curl, or twist. There's similar effectors inside the Vue when you work with particle effects, and this base will affect the plane. We also have an effect of the wind overall. So when we preview in our wind, right here, we can modify the effect on the blades or billboards or segments as well. We also have an option of the meshing. Again, this is a root, this is a global effect, all plane, where we can set up different effect as well as a quality. Currently it's optimized for the quality, but we also can optimize for the speed or animation. As well, we can enable the advanced material effect as a displacement and other effects, but it will be also slow down the render. This option is very useful. For example, when you create close-up trees and you want to have extra details, you probably want to use the advanced material effect. However, if you do on a distant planes, you probably want to create optimized for animation, so you don't care about close-up very quality, but overall feeling and fast rendering. So right here we have it, the root. Also we can connect age, season, and health, and there will be control from here, and there will be enable as well. So right now we're going from default, and we'll just use it as a segment. You notice when you create by default, you have a segment that connected to the root. This is a basic for the plant creation. You can also have a different type of the components. By selecting right click, we can go to geometry. We have a segment for each billboard, wardrobe, hydra, ball, installations, and objects. We look on each of them as well. So let's start with our segment. Segment, it's a primitive cylinder with some options we can modify. So let me increase right here. And you notice when we select, we have it as sections in our segment type. One which define overall a physical appearance, the cap, the ending. We also have a root flares for this, which will modify the bottom of our plant. we have it also blending with the parent. Currently, because with the root you won't see any big difference, but when we add branches we can watch how it's modified and add angle to create very accurate look branches. And we have the blades. We use blades when we create leaves or maybe grass blades or some effects, so we can use those options. Also you can create flowers, and overall it just create extended on a sides effect. So let's look on some of them. First, right here we have our link, and it's default 10 meters. We can go ahead and enable segment meter right here. You can see it's 10 meters. The overall we can modify two ways: by clicking left click and drag, modify size this way. We can also click on a box and type directly. Again, you need to press enter or switch the field so it will accept it. And also we have a random variation. This random variation will apply for each different segment. So if we have different segments assigned to this, as let me very fast creating this one. So for example, we're connecting segments right here. You notice they're all same link. If we go inside segments and modify, for example, randomness, you notice how they will change. So some of them will be from 5 and up to 15, so it's modified link. Almost in every component you'll notice right here we have random input, so it's allowed you to create this natural look randomness for each almost property. Okay, let's delete this one. We'll go back to our main segment. So right here we have randomness. We have radius mode, which can inherit from the parents, user defined or clamped radius. The inherit, it will scale up to 50% currently right here from our parent, or you can create user defined that it will be totally set by the radius. You notice when we enable this, our radius now is enabled property, and we can work with this property as well. So let's go to click inherit for this one. Again, radius disable and inherit radius is enabled. We have an overall slider where we can modify it. So if we add any additional branch with same parameters, it will take 50% of the width of the parent. We also have randomness, and we have two filters, one which is primitive itself and another one it's a parent filter. Parent filter will affect the values that passing to us from the parent subject. So if we have another segment and we have a parent, this is value will calculate passing. And then next we have the primitive filter. This is directly affecting our primitive. So let's look right now example as inherit. We'll go right here, and on this filter, this is bottom, this top in this case, and I'm saying let's this inherit radio I want actually make smaller. And you notice how right here we're already modifying this filter, so it's meaning we don't change shape, we change value of this number. So it's coming not 50, it's maybe coming to the 5%. Okay, so we'll click OK. And this is one way we can modify shape by working with a radio filter. Okay, let me go ahead and reset this filter. You can also, you notice I'm doing, if you right click on a filter, you can edit, copy, reset preloaded filter, save your filter, or help. You also, if you just click on this, you can open with the same values on the side. It's exactly the same menu is inside the view as well. Okay, we also have a graphism, and this one is actually how it's affecting on the branches. Let me go ahead very fast, create a new one. We'll go connect segment. Okay, let's go ahead right here. And for straight one, it doesn't affect that much. We can visible. More visible it will be if we go in segment and just apply here. You'll notice when I increase value, it's got this nice natural bending, and this is useful if you want to do like a grass blades example, or plants, or even trunks. And of course this effect you can modify nicely with a filter. So we can apply right here. You can see how we can modify effect. Okay, we can go an opposite, positive or negative. So it's going up. In some cases, when we start creating branches, maybe we want to create this way as well. Let me go right here. Just a little bit on an end. Okay, so let me, for example, if I want to apply closer to this edge, and I want ends go a little bit more straight. So it's effect of trapezium applied to our branch. So right here, the highest value of 1, we're applying up to this area on the beginning strongly. We can even actually pop a little bit higher. Right here you can see bending, but on an end I don't want to apply it all, so I can go and actually go in minus, negative, so it's actually bending in different ways. Okay, so let's set here. In this case, you can see we can start creating like branches. So this is trapezium. As well, we can modify this to random value. So for example, we notice it is minus 2.77. So if I put it 1, it will randomize them on additional 1 point. So anywhere from minus 3.77 to about minus 1.77. So this is random values. Some ways we'll modify so you can see how it's look. Okay, next, also till we look on values, let me mention you can link almost any of these values. So just go left click, it will open additional menu where you can additionally connect parameters, publish parameters. You can have it absolute randomness right now relative to the value what we have it. So in this case, you'll have a little bit less effect because it will be relative to the positioning. Okay, we have it distortion, custom distortions. We can add variants, copy variants. We can new drawing as well as primitive or vegetation. And this is kind of nice options. We will use it. It's a set randomness dependency. So for example, right here I had random values, but now if I want effect on a link, so I go set randoms, current primitive, segment, and I select segment link. So now my randomness of this change will affect depend how on a link of this segment. So if I'm going inside and it says random for this segment, let's say 5, you'll notice the longest one they will affect more and some will affect the randomness a little bit less. So in this case we can have it let me set random 1. Okay, as well we go select trapezium and switch those to absolute randomness. So you can see how we changing depend on a link, how much a trapezium is changing. This is a little bit bigger than on a shorter one. This effect we will using when we'll start creating grass blades. For example, I want longer blades bend or trapezium a little bit more than shorter one because or thinner because they're a little bit straight. And this is we can modify by assigning again. You click, we'll go to the randomness in this case, and we'll just go to segment and connect to the link. You can notice how many options we have it as well here. So for example, we can get directly to segments or current primitive. So it's kind of a lot of options you can connect it. Many of them we will review in more advanced portion of tutorials. Just overall, you kind of know it's here and you can use it. Okay, next we have it skin. Currently it says to the standard. We can have it from the object or none. And by usually you want to keep it. Okay, let me select properly the standard as default. From the object, if we're creating more displacements or other ones. The axis and sections. This is very interesting options because we can click on X and you notice right here we have it kind of going properties. Okay, straight line, and this is will apply shape or this. So we can click create new dimension, move like a vertex, we can readjust. Okay, control right here, readjust. We'll click OK, and you notice how it's changed shape of our trunk. The one thing only about this, currently when we set, it's one random. So if I create another one or a species, they will be have it same. However, we can connect this parameter to additional axes. So like right here, we can add maybe fractal and connect it. So we can connect to randomness, but in some cases require more modification. From the position, so we can modify it. But overall, I'll let you know that almost all of these values can be controlled from external parameters. Okay, so let me. And to delete it, you just move your mouse to this and right click will delete it. So left click will create it, and right click will delete the points. You can adjust. Rotation and zoom and scale is same like in a view, so you can actually use your mouse scroll button to zoom in and right click rotate, so you can readjust. And of course your shift hold down will be panning, or you can also zoom with control. So it's very similar to your normal adjustments. Okay, let's go back. The next we also have sections. Sections, it's which work on the shape of the, not just the spline, just overall shape of this. Let's enable. We'll look a little bit before, but overall right here we have our shape. This is a bottom, this is top, kind of beginning top, this side. So sometimes you want to readjust, and you have it several ways. One, you notice we can change overall shape, diameter in this case. If I want to change not diameter shape, I can add points, and again the add points, I just needed left click. However, to delete it, you need just to highlight them and press delete key to remove it. Okay, so let me go to highlight right end. Okay, let me right here. Okay, we created shapes. You just need to go in middle click, and this you notice will create new position for the shape. Okay, to highlight, just go over, and when you highlight yellow, you can notice right here we have it. So we can add another ones, and you can see right here how we can create a total different shapes for our tree. In again, one thing kind of notice that, okay, let me reposition this one. Okay, a little bit right here. That is affect segment right here. So we have a different segment. We need to work on different. So if, for example, on this segment, I want to create almost like look at maybe inside a tree, some trunk, I can modify it. Okay, and right here you can see we change the shape. This way you can modify if you work with the leaves, and for example you create stem of the leaf, you can easily go and modify shape of this segment in a way it's better suit you. Get most common way to do it. Let me go delete this shapes. Okay, common, it's what we do, it's select diameters. Normally it's what I do, I make it smaller, maybe just right here. Okay, we'll delete it again. To delete, you just highlight and press delete key. Okay, most common it's have it shape corners from top to bottom, so this is kind of readjusting. Also notice when we change diameter, our branches, the other segments, now is modified because we selected inherit. So if you use user define, the all shape will be exactly same link. And we can use the inherit with combing as well. So let's go click inherit, And right here, based on diameter, it's like 50% of this diameter. And this is how to grade it. So we'll continue to look on other properties in the next portion of the tutorial.